Good evening and welcome back to the Mancunian way, where Manchester City have won a plate.
A dinner plate.
Well, we've won a dinner plate, which means congratulations to Arsenal on being 24-25 Premier League champions, because that's just balls tits up our Premier League title win, because we ain't winning it now.
All over.
Good evening. Anyway, yes, we've got a cracking panel for you all. City Luke, Lukey boy is with us. He's gonna shout me now. No, City Luke TV is with us. Way past his bedtime. Good evening, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good. Glad that we got that over and done with as winners. So yeah, can't complain. How are you?
Yeah, good. And of course, we have got City Bevo with us. TV, how are you, mate? Thank you for joining us again.
Really good. Thanks, mate. Really good. Nice win over our counterparts today, so can't complain.
Yep. And me and Ozzy have swapped places. I've come back from the US. Ozzy's gone to the US live from Las Vegas. Ozzy, good evening, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, mate. I'm enjoying my holidays over in Las Vegas. It's very hot, but I'm having a good time, thanks.
No,
Like the rest of the panel.
To Ozzy for literally giving up his time. He was told not to. Ozzy will confirm. I told him to piss off on his holidays and not come on, but I think he's had enough.
Right there.
He's had enough for the other half. He wants an hour off. Right, we're going to some quick hellos. Why aren't we seeing Craig party time? No, I think Craig's obviously people on holiday at the moment, things like that. So yeah, I have no idea. I don't know Craig party time personally, so I don't know. Sorry, people think I do. I don't know him personally. No, we're not the same person. I'm not Tommy and I'm not Craig party time, as people think. Tom Matei says, come on. Yes, guys, smash those likes, pay your rent. There is a poll now in the chat. Yesterday, we did an intro. Today, we did an intro. I want your feedback. We want to know which intro is best. And if it's 50, because we're even looking at a combination of the two. I'm playing around with stuff at the moment and seeing what's the best fit for the channel. And it's your channel, so we want you to have your say. I was one of the few that said we needed a Gundo replacement, as I knew the fan base will melt down, including myself with Cover, Nunes and Roller. And we're going to get into that because it took 24 hours on what I said yesterday, and it happened in the first game in. And I was like, oh, come on. Which is a bit sad to say, but, you know, we'll talk about it. City, the best team in the world, says Connor. Might think Nunes was all right, but he, Cover and Riley, same issue. They aren't press resistant. I agree. I don't think Nunes is a 6. I don't think that's his role. Kovacic was fantastic in the 8. He kept the game. I thought Kovacic was magnificent today, but I gave somebody else the man of the match that we will talk about. And I think he's played his way into the Chelsea lineup for next week. Simo Sups, thank you for renewing your membership for 7th month. Also, MCFC, thank you so much again for your generous super chat. Good evening, Martin. Good win, but the serious business starting at Stamford Bridge. Is there any development regarding transfers? I know you get asked a lot, and the name is the exact same name. You're asking me about Bruno G. No developments. They are still looking. That's all I know right now. We'll just say, DC, how are you? Thank you for your lovely comments earlier on. I am 100. I agree with you. I thought Bob McAtee and Kovacic were all good. Community Shield winners. BB's with us. Luke there. Smash the like button. Thank you, mate. High All Blues, another trophy for the cabinet. Plate. It's not a trophy. It's a plate. Come on now. Evening City Luke. Cover impressed me. How about you? We'll talk about that. Big up, Tom. How are you? Bob was great. We're going to talk about that as well. Obviously, Bob, Cover, Savio, and Lewis ran the show. These guys will always give us 100% no matter what. Think it's a long show tonight. No, it's not going to be long. We're going to try and do an hour max. Because be good evening, G Papa. How are you? Ed saying smash those likes on the way in. Dash, big up for the super chat. Thank you. Leon is with us. Hope everyone is well. Not the greatest game, but I'll take it. It's pre-season, mate, and that's exactly how we're going to see it. Right, I'm going to say some of those, but I'm going to bring in the lads. Conor Rugby before we move has renewed for a third month, which is outstanding. Thank you so much. Appreciate your generosity, mate, and it really is. You're entered into the chance to win the opportunity once a month to come on a show with Ozzy, Rich, and Pat. Louis Savage, hi. Ozzy, Luke, and Martin, hello. How are you? Right. Start with you, Luke. What thing of the game? Obviously, we've won. We've won the trophy, plate, whatever it is.
Yeah, we've won the dinner plate, so we can't complain. Yeah, there was a lot more that I expected from the United, considering it was most of their first team. It was a very interesting lineup from him not to see a striker. And my God, Rashford can't take a chance. He is on the worst vein of form I've ever seen that kid in my life. But that's more United's side. That's all I wanted to get out there before anyone says I start griefing him. But yeah, from a City perspective, it looked good. For me, obviously, you know, it was nice to see on the right-hand side Rico and Oscar Bob linking up very, very well together. And Rico Lewis, 19 years old, just looks effortless. He looks like an absolute world beater already now. And yeah, there was a lot of kind of, again, following on from pre-season, a lot of kind of inspiring performances that are going to give Pep another headache again, I think. But I always get worried when Garnacho scores, it's always kind of worrying for me against City, sorry, because he always seems to pull one out the bag, and it's always when we lose. So when I seen him score, it was like, oh no, it's going to happen again. And then thankfully, Bernardo Silva, probably the smallest man on the pitch, actually wins a header, but that's what you get when you put Palestri at a right back. And I do hope we have broke the curse. You know, we broke the Spurs curse last year, so why can't we break another one this season? But yeah, good performance all round. To be fair, Martin, I'm happy with it, and it's some positive signs for another week in training, and then Chelsea on Sunday.
Hello.
Yeah, I thought for the team that we had out, I thought the first half, I thought we were exceptional. I think to take away the biggest thing that I can take away from the game is we dominated possession, but I would say that they had the better chances, especially in sort of the first half. But I think for the team that we had out and the amount of youngsters and sort of second choice players we had out on the pitch, I thought we were excellent. I thought we were composed. Nice to see Savio get some minutes. I thought he was brilliant when he come on. Definitely sort of added an extra spark to the game. Yeah, overall, I can't be too disappointed with what I saw. It's quite far away from what our first team's going to look like. Whereas with United, like Luke mentioned, United's that's not far off their first team, if not their first team. So I think the biggest thing to take away from this game is the youngsters looked really, really, really good. I thought O'Reilly had a really good game. I thought McAtee had a few good chances. You know, there was that one chance, I think it was in the first half, where he hit the post. Really, really unlucky there. But yeah, I think the biggest thing to take away from it is that the youth look good, and I think they can definitely hold their own.
Okay. I'm going to challenge you on 1 or 2 of them in a minute.
Here we go.
All's there.
The Martin perspective, looking forward to. Yeah, I mean, it was a typical kind of pre-season game with a bit of, Derby thrown in. I think City dominated most of the first half. United started coming in towards the end of that first half and then kind of picked up where they left off. Yeah, I think you're right. It seems pretty close to what their first team lineup is going to be. And for us, it's very much, quite a few kids out there, but Lewis looking fantastic. Really chuffed with his performance today. I think he may be kind of close to man of the match for me because I just thought he was excellent. He just didn't seem to kind of put a foot wrong. And then when Savio came on, I felt like he wanted to prove a point, to kind of say, here I am, this is what I can do. I thought some of his link-up play was really good. He put some of the balls in for Haaland. Didn't quite get there, but, give it time. I think that's a blossoming kind of partnership right there. And again, Bob picking up off pre-season. He had a really good game. Again, you can see him linking up really well with the squad.
He's class, isn't he? He really is.
And the thing I was kind of worried for Bob is I know as much as Pep has praised him, but you felt this could be a Palmer situation, especially with Savio coming in, Doku, Grealish. But for me, that's good. I've always thought the more players you've got for positions, the more they want to fight for their positions, because I've always said if you've got one player who thinks their position is safe, then you're going to have those moments where players just think, oh well, I didn't play particularly good that game, I'm still going to play next game. So, I think there's going to be, especially for the wings, there's going to be some fights for competition to get on the pitch in that first 11. So, yeah, good game, good result. I'm slightly worried about the kind of the history of winning the Shield and then not winning the league. But hopefully, as kind of Luke said, it's put that to bed, that demon, and we move on and get on with the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm just going to do these very quick super chats. My internet's been weird at the minute. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on here.
Wind up a bit more, Martin.
I don't know what's going on with it. It's having a moment. It needs to
Dial up.
a moment. It needs to really stop having a moment because it's been really awkward. Oh, what's he doing? What's he doing? I wish he wouldn't do this. So
You start riding that.
Do you need a minute, Martin?
I don't know what it's doing.
You're still on AOL, Martin.
It's got to be its mind of its own. Right, here we go. Right, I'm back. Right, MCLC, thank you again for another generous super chat. Ben Jacobs reported that we made a late approach to Neto, even though he's going to Chelsea. I wondered if that's true. Does that mean the target is a winger, or is it just waffle from Ben? It's not your waffle. There wasn't a bid. There was a. He was always on the list. Said this months ago. I'm not sure we made a bid, but I don't want to say too much of what I got told earlier because it's going to really put the cat amongst the pigeons. But I wouldn't rule out another player leaving. Professional Harambot for the $10. Thank you so much, maybe General Sir. It's what you can see in our defence from our senior players to our academy players making simple mistakes, like not closing down players. How is it that our defence on all levels concede easy goals? I personally think for me today, I think it was just that combination had never played. It's the first pre-season game, and I think they were rusty. I don't think that'll happen come the new season. I think they were just rusty today, which is why yesterday I wanted to play the strongest 11 for 60 minutes rather than do what we did today and swap it around because we're going to have cold players big style for Chelsea next week now. We're going to have so many players that are going to be very cold. But listen, Pep's decision. Brandon City Van renewing the membership for 13 months. Thank you so much for your generosity. And City Luke, looking him up there, becoming a member. Thank you, mate.
Thanks, Luke.
All right, don't you worry. I didn't realise I hadn't done it, to be honest.
But yeah, I mean, you know the thing for me today, because I always saw it as a pre-season. And personally, for me, I've no issue with O'Reilly. I've no issue with any of the players who played today. Do I think certain players could have been a little bit better? Of course. But I think it's very unfair, some of the criticism on Nico O'Reilly today, because it was his first competitive game. And it's very different playing a Barcelona kids team or an AC Milan B team and then rolling out in a Manchester derby at Wembley.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely different. It's completely different as well playing someone like a Luton. You know, he's chucked him into his first sort of professional game as, you know, Manchester derby. So, you know.
I don't think he put that much of a foot wrong. I mean, I know there was some stray passes here and there, and he, you know, let the ball go a bit stray. But to be honest, I thought he was, you know, in some of the points during the game, I thought he was quite solid actually for an academy lad coming into, you know, is he 19 as well?
Yeah.
You know,
couple of heavy touches, but you could say the same from all of the midfielders. You know, I think there was that one chance when we were going forward. You know, O'Reilly had a bit of a heavy touch, sort of rebounded off their defender, come back to Kovacic. Kovacic then had a heavy touch. You know, I think it shows that it's the start of the season. You know, when they've got players just coming back off the holidays, starting to get fitness levels up, it's just an absolute true reflection of the start of the season.
Yeah, I think
we never have a good start to the season. I mean, apart from last season, you can count the rest of the seasons since Pep. We've only had one good start to a season. Normally, it takes us near enough until Christmas to get going.
Well, there was one year we were 14th in November and ended up winning the league.
I think that was the COVID league, wasn't it? COVID year, wasn't it?
No, Liverpool on that one.
Year before, I thought.
No, like when it started to go into COVID.
Oh, yeah.
At the back end, I think. But, yeah, Nico O'Reilly, like anyone who's shitting on him, you just need to have a word with yourself, I think, if I'm honest, because he's 19. You know, they're not all going to kind of hit the ground running like Rico Lewis has. And he's played on significantly more kind of competitive games as well. You know, for a 19-year-old kid who probably wasn't even expecting to be in the first team this time 6 months ago, was probably happy staying in the EDS. You know, it's going to take time. And I think
the other thing is as well, people are talking like he was at fault for the goal. People were talking like, you know, he was sort of straying passes.
No, there was three players who could have. There was three players who could have took Garnacho out quite easily.
Gvardiol was the one for me.
Diaz, yeah. He was good, man. And I think, you know, we've seen it over pre-season. There's a rawness to his game where it's just fine little touches where if he improves on that, then he improves overall. But nothing that I'm like, oh my God, he's not going to make it. Like, you know, I'd much rather have him in the squad than Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, by the way, I think that was the end for Calvin.
You've also got to remember a lot of these sort of youth players that we've got are typically, a lot of them are from the surrounding area of Manchester. A lot of them, this will hit harder than a lot of like the other players because they've grown up as City fans and they're playing against United. You know, for them, this is like the biggest match of their lives.
He's keeping like the players like Neves out. You know, I mean, a player that we brought in for what 40 and 50 million.
Nunes,
yes, Nunes. Sorry.
I was like, when do we get João Neves then?
Yeah.
Sweaty palms when he had that penalty though. Wow.
Yeah.
No, that was some penalty.
I thought he'd skied it.
He made a bit. I think he was trying to make a bit of a statement though, wasn't he? As well. You know, it felt like, you know, he was really like, I'm putting this in the back of the net and I'm even going to take the net off if I can.
I think he had a good 25 minutes, to be fair. I don't think he put much wrong.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't. But
He looked like he
didn't
was
start.
trying to make an impact, which is all we can ask from a player, that they're trying.
Yeah. But I think it says a lot that Pep's willing to start a 19-year-old academy kid over him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we were thinking, you know, where is his game time last season? And then we're talking about him coming into this season and he needs to prove, you know, a point if he wants to get into the starting lineup. And I don't know, I'm just not seeing it. You know, is he going to be another one that we're going to see like a Calvin Phillips who's just not good enough? And then for me, if that's the case, then
the frustrating thing is we haven't ever seen a glimpse of Calvin Phillips good in his kind of significant role, like a backup to Rodri or an assistance to Rodri, you know, to cover that role. Whereas Nunes at times has looked good, you know, Nottingham Forest at home, Red Star Belgrade away. There's been glimpses where if he can find that consistency, then he has been good. But
I think, Luke, the problem is, though, is that Pep isn't seeing it, you know, and if he would be getting the game time, wouldn't he? Do you know what I mean? He would be getting more of a chance, and he didn't have that last season. And I'm just feeling like he ain't going to get this season. And then for me, it's like, well, then what's he doing here? You know.
The other thing to mention as well is when a lot of our academy players come up from the academy into the first team, for them it's no different because our academy plays exactly the same way, and it goes right the way through the whole system. You know, from sort of under 19s, under 21s, EDS, you know, all of that. Even as far as, you know, potentially even the women's team, we all play a certain way. So and that is the Pep way. So when these players transition from the EDS into our first team, they have a lot more of a grasp of how we like to play than potentially bringing in a player. So I mentioned it on Martin's thing last night. In my opinion, it sometimes can be just as dangerous going out and buying a player as it would be to not, because there's no guarantee that player is going to work out. You know, you don't have to look like Calvin Phillips.
No, I agree. I just think, and I said this earlier on, I think there's too much. I don't want to put too much expectation on these young lads.
No, definitely not.
I want them to grow properly.
No, yeah.
And I think.
Good evening, Dave.
Hey, good evening, fellas.
And for me, I was straight with you, and this is not. I think O'Reilly and McAtee look exactly like they were today. Youth players that hadn't had a lot of first team experience in the Manchester City team. I think Rico and Bob for that more because they've been with us for the last year or two. O'Reilly's has literally just been promoted up, and McAtee's been at Sheffield United for 2 years. So, and it's no fault on them, but as we, you know, Bebo, we talked about this last night, and bet you were in it when we did the 11. My issue is not the 11. My issue is when we literally wrote the bench down, McAtee and O'Reilly were on the bench because we've got no depth then after that. Yeah. And that was my concern is I want these lads to come in and develop naturally, organically.
The other thing to note,
because we get an injury crisis, and my God, we've got to go 10 games and open play it.
The other thing to note, though, Martin, is when we're looking at bringing on subs, we don't directly have to go to the bench for that replacement. So, say for example, now, right, we've got, I don't know, I'm just going to throw names out there. So we've got Doku, Haaland, and Bernardo as our front three. If then Kev gets injured, we're not going to replace Kev with someone on the bench. What we'll then probably do is play Bernardo in there and put somebody out to replace Bernardo on the right wing.
No, I don't think our bench is. I think our bench has not got the depth at the moment. That's my issue.
Our bench has got some depth, but what I would say is we're not so heavily reliant on, you know, we take that player off and we have to bring one on for that player, because a lot of our players that we've got in the team, especially the sort of the front three, or even front six if you include the midfield, a lot of them are very, very versatile. So if say now, for example, you know, Kev gets injured, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll put Bernardo into the position where Kev is and then bring on, say, Savio on the right wing. We don't have to directly replace the player that's injured with somebody off the bench. We have the versatility in the squad to move the players around. So, yeah, it might look a little bit light, but I think we have enough versatility in there to play these players in different positions, and it'll still work.
Do we have enough for injuries, though?
I think if we get 2 injuries in midfield, then no. But I think if we get 1 injury, then I think we could probably cope. But just my opinion.
Depends who that injury is, though, doesn't it? Because it's Rodri.
Oh, if it's Rodri, we're screwed.
Yeah.
I just need to do these super chats before I bring Beta in. I know Luke's got to go in a minute, and I want to plug Luke's channel before he falls to sleep completely on me. Connor, thank you for your £5 super chat. Don't worry, Martin. You can tell us what you heard, what side you want. Keep up there. There wasn't a name. I just heard potentially someone else may go. I didn't get a name. I just got told potentially someone else may go. That's all I got told. Didn't get any names.
Well, it's not Edison.
No, Edison. Evening, lads. Top show. Martin City win another trophy. Edison staying. New signing on the way. Rag still shite. Life is good. Stay. I think City will sign somebody else.
ITK in the house.
No, I just think they will. And I think
98%.
I don't know if anyone noticed. Anyone watched the ITV coverage today?
Bollocks.
I'm in a different country, mate.
No, I know
Fucking knobheads.
All they did for that, I know they were, but all they did, they talked to me, they mentioned it about 5 times. They went, City are looking at signing 2 more players. And I'm like, who told them this?
And then they were going,
yeah.
Because I think obviously Fabrizio Romano had announced Delict just before kickoff.
Yeah,
so then the commentary throughout the whole thing was like, oh, they could be signing Delict here. And then obviously started saying about the one, well, that knobhead presenter at the start saying about the 115 and then went, we just want to get it over with.
Oh,
Fog, thank you for gifting 10 channel memberships. Honestly, mate, thank you so much. Keep your card in your pocket now, mate. I really appreciate it. But I want you to be able to buy some food this week. Appreciate it. Honestly, mate, you're so generous. Luke, get over to Luke TV. Give him a lot of love. Hit that subscribe button. He does some amazing work. Honestly, get over there. Support all our Blues families. But yeah,
thank you.
I just wanted to do that because I know Luke is like literally like he's got matchsticks in his eyes at the minute.
It's way past my bedtime here. Way past my bedtime. So I'm going to love yous and leave yous all. But thank you ever so much for having me on. Good to see yous all, boys.
Luke.
I'll try to, and I'll keep in touch with yous all tomorrow. Take care and have a good evening, everyone in the stream. Bye bye.
And then obviously we're going to bring in. No, it isn't Walk Superstar. Beta. Good evening, mate.
Good evening. Good evening. Good to see you guys.
Martin does not like youngsters. No, mate. Can I get this out before we even throw this out? Does this believe now Martin doesn't like the youngsters? No. What I'm saying is, I said this last night. We've gone from 8 to 7.
I'm gonna flip that. Martin doesn't like Alan doesn't like experience.
No, he doesn't. Anyone over 30, Alan wants to kick out an old yeller him out back. Trust me.
And Martin, you wanted to do it to Kevin De Bruyne last night.
Pardon?
You wanted to do that to Kevin De Bruyne last night in our private chat. You were like, Kev's had it.
I was taking
wow.
Because that's what I got. That's what me and Bevo got last night. Alan was like, Kevin De Bruyne is crap. He came on today for 20 minutes and the bloody best player for 20 minutes. So I don't know what Alan's banging on about. For some reason, but he loves Bernardo and he loves Gundo, but they're getting on. Anyway, no, I don't mind. But what I want these youngsters to do, I don't like that there's so. 3 weeks ago, all of us as fans are going Bruno, Kimmich, Danny Olmo, bloody, and then 3 weeks down the line we've gone, yeah, but all right with Nico Riley and James McAtee, and I'm like, hang on a minute, none of you were saying this 3 weeks ago, And now all of a sudden you've gone, let's go EDS. But then, as today, O'Reilly got a little bit of criticism by some of the fans online because he was a youngster. Could you imagine that against Tottenham in the Premier League? And this is my point. Because trust me now, it will happen. And just let these youngsters develop. O'Reilly's not even played a Carabao Cup game, and we're talking about Rodri back up for the lad. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Well, let me take a different angle to this. Because if the fan base are ready to hold, quote unquote, the youngsters to the same expectations of the seasoned vet, then it's just the player made a mistake, maybe not to scold them and say never start for us again, but to say, identify this was a mistake, you need to step up, because we've done this to every player, right? So doing it to the youngsters, I think, is just to kind of keep the standard there. But when Martin says we got to pick on whether we want to develop the young or still want to compete, I really think we can do the two. We can do the two.
Yeah.
But
I think you can do that with 1 or 2. Don't think you can do that with 3, 4, 5 in the squad. I think it becomes harder.
United did it back in the day, so why can't we, Martin?
No, but they really didn't. That is a fallacy when you look into it. You know this thing, I know you're trying to play wind up now because we talked about this before. You know this belief that in the 99 European Cup final, they had it was a team full of youngsters. Go back and look at it. There was 3 youngsters. Henning Berg was not out of United's academy. He was out of Blackburn Rovers, ladies and gentlemen. Jesper Blomqvist was not out of the United academy, ladies. It is a load of guff.
Well, and I messaged this when you're on LB's channel. I said, we as fans, we can take a lot of pride with the fact that we got Foden, Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis, that will most likely consistently be in games throughout the season. And then when we got the addition of O'Reilly and McAtee, I think, look at that's 5 players right there to name. So we can take a lot of pride in that. Whether they're all going to be on the pitch at once, probably not. But we're developing well, and I think that's the strategy we got to go. Because on your show early, you said someone messaged, Pep says we're not going to buy any big expensive players to sit on the bench. So
I can tell you now, they are trying to buy. If they were happy to go with what everyone wants, they would not.
Wait. They're happy to buy what? An expensive player?
No, I don't know who, but they're trying to buy. They are trying to add to the squad, mate.
Yeah.
They're not sat on their hands going, "Oh, we've got O'Reilly and McAtee." Great.
No,
they will if they have to do. But ideally, listen, Pep's not stupid. It took Pep for 3 years to get folded into the first team.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Pep's going to, like you said, just let them develop? I think they're going to be world super. I think they'll be amazing. Kabore was on the bench today. He's not playing next week against Chelsea at right back, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I'm saying. Can we just calm it a bit?
So I hate to do this.
Go on. You're going to do it anyway.
I'm going to do it, but I hate to do it. I'm going to do it, but I hate to do it.
You don't hate to do it.
I do hate to do it. I do.
No, you don't.
I do, Ozzy. I do. When we look at when Foden was coming through the academy and Pep said, you know what, I'm holding you here. You're going to remain here and learn. Do we have the same depth and quality now than what we did then? Like when Foden had to wait his turn, I would argue that we were. Yeah. Right.
So that's why I'm saying we have to decide, because I think it's. I want O'Reilly and I want McAtee, but what I don't want to do is let them organically come in, not throw them in because we've gone light.
Yeah, and I would think it'd be unfair of fans to criticize the youngsters and say, oh well, when Foden was coming up and we had success, to do it with the same now, because it's very different. Fair.
It's also about with the young players, we forget, these kids, and they are kids, they're 19, come in. If you play them too much too quickly, they burn out quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why that's why Pep wasn't willing to do that with Foden, because he thought he's a young generational talent that I can see, that I want to mould And that's why he kept him. That's why he dipped him in so early on, in the early starts of his seasons.
He did it with Rico last season. You actually look at Rico's minute.
Yeah.
Rico went about 4 months where he didn't play again.
Yeah.
So he still dips him in and out now.
And 2 seasons ago, he was a warrior in how he played against Liverpool and playing against Salah. So
and Cancelo saw his ass and went crying. Mark Fogg has renewed his membership for you lot are on fire tonight. And I just honestly, 14 months. Thank you so much, mate, Mark. Again, put your wallet away. From doors to doors, thank you for your £5 super chat. Great show as always, Matt. Thank you for all your hard work. A difficult watch today. It's not that bad a show. I mean, come on, Vader, Ozzy, and Bevo and Luke aren't that bad.
wow,
it's a win. I'll take it. It is a 5. No, these
I
are
think
all...
he was talking about the game, not your. Not
I know
your
he was
show.
talking about the game. I just wanted to. No, I mean, can I ask you an honest? Out of today's game for me, you know who I think's redder out of all the youngsters, and he was my man of the match. It's just, and he's Oscar Bob.
He was my man of the match by far.
I'll be honest with you. I think Grealish's injuries come at the damn worst time. I just feel for the guy now because it's like bloody hell, just like you don't catch a break. I'll be straight with you, and people aren't going to like this. And you're going to think, I think Doku, again, I will state this, I think Doku is going to be an amazing Manchester City player, but I still want to see a better end product from him.
Yeah.
I thought Savio came on and his end product was better.
Yeah, it was.
I thought his crossing was better.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like Savio and Doku, they seem similar, but actually they're not.
No, they're not. No,
Doku is very much, he's going to try and go past the player. He's going to, do those wonderful dribbling skills that he's got, and they are wonderful. But Savio, when he came on, he was always looking to make that cross into the box. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting start.
He found a corner taker, by the way. That's the more breaking news.
Yeah, I was quite surprised actually at that.
Well, this is what I was going to get at because Martin with that little smirk.
Stop thinking I was digging at Doku. He's not your bloody brother. He's not going to come and have dinner with you. Bloody. What is this Doku a fan appreciation society all about?
Give him a chance to talk, Martin.
Yeah, let me at least say what I'm going to say. I think it's a little fair when it comes down to end product when Doku's playing on that left side. Because what we saw, which was you just pointed out right at the end with regards to corner taking, Savio is naturally left-footed. So when he gets onto that side, him delivering that ball is a lot cleaner. I think he's a lot more in rhythm. Doku being right-footed, he's got to do it differently, right? But what I did love about the two of them is the directness, is the fact that when that ball went out wide, even just look at Erling, look at Haaland. He's already trying to guess where the position is because he's already expecting them to get past that defender, unless there's support from a midfielder or whatever. But I love that aspect of it. So yeah, we'll wait and see.
Like I said, I think Doku is going to be a top player. I think Doku has got 90% of his game done. Just that, and it'll come. It's only it'll come the same way like Grealish needs to massively. People think I've got this pro Grealish anti-thing. No, I don't. I think Grealish has to massively improve, or he's out the door.
Yeah,
come the summertime.
The competition is amazing.
I think he'll be gone.
On the wings,
I think
competition is going to be amazing.
I think that's the thing is that I don't think we fully. I mean, I've been away for a while, so I don't know if you guys have covered it that much. But we've got these two fast-paced, really good dribbling wingers now. It takes us back to Sane and Sterling. Do you know what I mean? It takes us slightly back to those days, and I think these two players could be even more impressive going forward. And that's a big statement.
Little stat for you from today's game. Doku was top of the most successful take-ons with 5.
Yeah.
Played 60 minutes-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Savio, second most with 4. Played 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it's just, I think it's massively exciting. And it's going to change the way we play, I think, as well. Do you know what I mean? It really is. Can you imagine Kevin De Bruyne, Foden, Savio, Doku, Haaland up the middle. For me, that is probably one of the most, forget Real Madrid, I think that could be one of the most exciting attacking plays that we're going to see come this season.
And
I really do. I think once that's firing and they're all gelled together, I think that's going to be an amazing attacking line.
Real Madrid by names, we by talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to point out? And EAFC 25 is going to be coming out shortly, so Martin's going to witness this firsthand.
And it comes with
merchant.com. But I'm really excited to see what Pep, the mad scientist, does, because imagine defenders having to defend, like we just mentioned, 60 minutes against a Doku or even a Savio, and then another 30 against one of them with fresh legs coming onto the pitch, or even defenders having to do it on both wings. Like, it's going to be exciting to watch. It's going to be exciting to watch, and you'll see me beat up on Martin later in the year.
We've got to stop doing this, getting like it's our opinions. Everyone's got them. We've got to stop this. Like these players are our mates, and we're personally attacking them. I don't get it. Just like I said, they're in a blue shirt. Support them, but you can constructive criticism. That's allowed. Just do it in a respectable way. Don't do what bloody Vader did last night and chop out Ortega off with the poor knees. Poor lad.
Yeah. That is a damn lie. That is a damn lie. Let me take myself off camera.
I think you might have gone by then. You might have gone when Vader did that.
I did not do that. That's blatant.
No, I remember that. I remember that very well.
Oh, Vader, what were you doing?
Ozzy, they're lying on me, man.
This is
Martin's doing that.
I think he said get him out of the club, didn't he? Something like that.
No. His exact words is Ortega's a number 2. Know your role. You know The Rock when he's going, know your role and shut your mouth. That was basically.
I'm just winding you up, mate. I'm just winding you up.
Yeah, no,
Ortega, know your role and get in the corner. Go and stand there.
All right,
hand the water bottle to Edison. That's your job.
Because Martin did this. Because Martin
puts Edison in the corner.
Because Martin and Bevo just started this. Listen, did Edison not show why he is a complete footballer today? Come on, did Edison not show?
Hey, you know what? He can take a penalty. It's amazing. I was shocked he did it.
I wasn't.
What do you mean you wasn't?
I wasn't shocked that he took
shootouts. Was shocking.
Edison took a few penalties for us.
When Edison scored that penalty, when he did all that, like just
no, I don't mean. No. See, I don't mean the scoring one. The one when he saved it onto the post.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was what I was really impressed. I was like, whoa, right.
I wasn't surprised at all, Martin. I wasn't surprised at all with the save.
I'll be straight with you. When it got to penalties, I was like, "Ooh, we're gonna go." I did not feel confident about penalties.
I do miss Willie Caballero though when it comes to penalty shootouts.
Yeah. He was a special.
Alan's back, Martin. The kids are good enough. This is Alan. This is Alan who texts me when we're getting beat by AC Milan with the kids in, telling me they're not ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And your point about Jack Martin is that I don't think it's just him out on the wings this season. I've got a feeling he could see game time in the middle. I really do. I think there's a chance for him to kind of put himself into the midfield and make himself, trouble for opposition. I really do.
I actually think it would be a perfect place for him as well because he does dictate the pace of play. And being in the middle of the park, that's where you need to do it. You don't want to dictate the pace of play from the wings. You want to do it from the centre of the pitch. And I
did that for Villa, didn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, and I do think that is where he needs to go. It's like Pep said at the end of the day, brought Calvin Phillips in a CDM, and Pep said in his embargo yesterday, I think it was, and he said, I don't know why I didn't see Calvin Phillips playing at centre back before. Because Calvin likes to see everything in front of him. He's not very good at sort of behind. So I don't know why I didn't see that before. And I think maybe you'll start to see that transition with Jack as well, where he'll go, well, actually, he does dictate the pace of play. He does slow the game down. He does speed it up when he needs to. That's what somebody does from the centre of the park. So who knows? It's Pep roulette, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Pep was kind of giving a bit undue praise there because he played him at centre back not last summer before when he came in. It was during It was during the last US tour. I can't remember the name of the club now. Can you remember, Martin? He played him at centre back, and we were all like, "What's he doing at centre back? He's a CDM," and he played really well. To be fair to him,
Mascherano. Or do you mean someone else?
I'm talking about
But the
Phillips.
thing is if you look at what Pep's done historically over the years, you know, you've got the likes of Fabian Delph, who was a CDM, and he went, "Nah, you're playing left back." Pep has a tendency of moving players away from their positions to get the best out of them. Kimmich, you know, when Pep went to Bayern, Kimmich notoriously was a midfielder. Pep went, "Nah, you're playing right back," and got the best out of him. He does it in any team that he goes to. He will find players where he can see improvements for them and then move them to that position. And it 9 times out of 10 it works. It just does.
I'll be honest with you, I still think Phillips is dumb because he didn't even get on the pitch today.
No, I agree, but I'm just speaking sort of like historically. You know, you look at Zinchenko. Zinchenko was a midfielder. He comes into City. They play him left back, and then he was sold as a left back.
I think the thing is for Phillips is that we're going to struggle to probably even loan him out this season. Do you know what I mean?
I'd imagine it'd be another loan.
No, you'll loan him out because
Yeah.
they'll have to take the bullet on some of the wages. They're going to have no choice. It's like we were talking. It's Cancelo. Cancelo's never playing with City again comparatively. Need to get over that. Cancelo's done.
He's not even got a shirt number, has he?
No, exactly. It's like 2 weeks ago. People like Peroni did. You look at the bench today. They're going out. They're not coming in.
Wasn't Kabore on the bench today?
Yeah,
You was, yeah.
I thought I saw him when he was going up for the trophy.
Pip Lope, thank you so much for your super chat. I'm really glad we have Kovacic, which brings us nicely on. Who other people thought was man of the match was Mateo Kovacic, who I thought ran the midfield today. So I know you think different, Bevo, and I'll put you in the spotlight in a minute. But I genuinely
I'll take the heat for this.
I thought Kovacic ran the show today.
I don't think he did all game, Martin. I think he had spells where he was very good, but I don't think he ran the whole game, to be honest.
I think he was our best midfielder.
I think when Kev came on, that he was pretty much the best midfielder, mate.
Yeah, maybe, but to me, I thought he was just really good today, Kovacic.
What I'd say with Kovacic is you're never going to get anything special out of him. He's just going to do what is expected of him. You know, he puts in 7 out of 10 performances, 7.5 out of 10 performances every single game. And, you know, that's absolutely fine. But what I would say is, personally, I would have liked to have seen a bit more of him today, considering the experience that he brought to that midfield. You know, 29 years old, what he's done, he was in a midfield with McAtee and O'Reilly. I personally believe that he should have been that person that ran the midfield, because ultimately he's the most experienced player in that midfield by far. He was good, but I don't know whether it's just me, but I thought that O'Reilly had a slightly better game. But I think that's more because I was probably focusing on him more than I was on Kovacic. I think I was focusing more on him because it's new. I'm not used to sort of seeing O'Reilly play, so I'm kind of focused a lot more on him than I am on sort of other players, which could potentially be the reason why. But I just think that he didn't stand out as Kovacic to me didn't stand out as like he was the dictator in that midfield. I thought they were all equally just as good as each other in that midfield. You know, you had spells from McAtee where he hit the post, had a couple of other half decent moments. O'Reilly was a little bit more safer with the ball. You know, sometimes, you know, rather than making that kind of forward pass, he'd sort of play the safer option and maybe play it back to defence, which is absolutely fine. You know, he's doing what he needs to do, and you know, he's making sure that the team keeps possession, which is absolutely fine. But I think we needed somebody in that midfield that isn't scared of making that forward pass. And Kovacic, unfortunately, hasn't got that in his game because that's not what he's about.
He has. He was the one who split the ball open against Barcelona. The Grealish to score.
Yeah, no, I know that, but that's sort of a one-off moment. What I'm trying to say is
well, you know, it starts today. 92% pass completion, 100% dribbles, 100% of his tackles, 100% ground duels, and he completed the most key passes for Manchester City in the first half.
That's a fair comment. That's a fair comment. I'm just, all I'm doing is I'm using the eye test and.
No, I get that. Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
As you say, Martin, stats are everything.
No, I get that, Ozzy, but I just think I think there's a little bit of negativity around Kovacic that he's just it is. He just doesn't seem to be that sexy footballer people want.
No, from my point of view, right? I think Kovacic he does what he needs to do, and that's absolutely fine. I'm more than happy with how he plays and what he does. That isn't an issue. What I'm saying is he's got way more experience than anyone else in that midfield, and he should have been that person that has those stats today for me. He should have been that person which dictates that play in midfield because he's got
those stats show he dictate. That's all I'm saying. He did dictate because those stats show that.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. I'm not going against it or anything. I'm just saying, I think for me, like,
no, I mean, like you said, like you and Ozzy said, it's how you're viewing it in different ways. And I get it.
I'm watching O'Reilly way more than I'm watching.
I'm a little bit
because it's
I thought McAtee wasn't as good as many are saying today. Thought McAtee looked a little bit off it and gave a few passes away today. That did some nice passes, but there was no creativity off him. And
I agree.
Even in them spaces, if he's going to do that.
I'll tell you what it is, Martin.
But again, he's a youngster, and he's going to learn it.
Yeah, and I think what it is that, you know, you look at when Kev came on and you just saw him run the show. And I just don't think Kovacic has got that in him. I think he's I racing when we signed him last summer, I was pleased we got him because I thought this is a really good player who's going to do, you know, some really good stuff for City. But he isn't that type of player that I just feel that he's always going to come in and run the show. You can rely on, you know, KDB to come in and to run the show most of the time. Kovacic has shown it in glimpses. He showed it today, but can you rely on that? And I think for a player of his stat, for a player of his age, you know, and what he's done with the likes of Real Madrid, you know, Chelsea and other clubs, I just don't see that coming from him, you know.
I think it's Lord Loud.
Who is the Rodri back
in the chat? That's the point that I'm trying to make.
No, but who is the Rodri backup then? Because you just said, so who is the Rodri backup if we don't buy anyone?
He's pretty much it, isn't he? Let's be honest. Because if we don't buy anybody, he's it. But I don't think he can do the Rodri. I don't think he can be Rodri backup. I think he can do it for no. But I don't. You know, if Rodri, you know, was injured for a number of months, I just don't think. I think 1 or 2 games here and there maybe, but not if you know, if Rodri goes out for 6 months or something. I think then we are in serious trouble.
To get a Rodri replacement, we're going to have to buy a dedicated 6. There is no dedicated 6 on the planet that is going to be willing to sit out for 95% of games. They're just not going to do it.
And that's why we need a 6/8.
What we need is an 8 that can play as a 6. Because
there's only one on the market, really.
Well, this is the thing. Bruno G would have been the option.
He still could be.
He still could be. But I think you're not going to go out and spend 55, 60 million on, a dedicated 6 that's going to play, 5, 6 games a season, providing obviously Rodri doesn't get injured.
No, but apparently, Bebo, a lot of fans want him to not play a lot less than just. They want him to miss more than 5 or 6.
You can't afford to.
This has been my argument for ages.
I think you can. I think you can lose Rodri in a lot more games, but I think you can lose him more in the respects of, he plays 60 minutes and then comes off if you're 2-3 up. You know what I mean? Like those other games where I just think, you could bring on that 6.
But that's when you're relying on us to go 2-3-0 up. You're not going to take Rodri off if we're 1-0 up. You're just not. So you're relying on us going 2-3-0 up to take him off. And the thing is you look at last season when even to the likes of playing, teams like Luton, Nottingham Forest, we weren't even going 2-3-0 up then when Rodri was on the pitch. So I think the only way you're going to get Rodri to get rest time is if we do go 2-3-0 up. Unless you go out and spend stupid money on a backup 6 that's not going to want to be a backup 6 because they're good. They should be good enough to play first team football. So it's a really difficult one. It's kind of like the same problem that we've got with Haaland. You're not going to go out and buy a striker for 50, 60, 70 million that's going to be willing to sit on the bench and hope that Haaland misses a game. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I don't think
the reason why Alvarez left.
No, I mean, I think what City will do with an Alvarez replacement, I think it'll either be I think they'll probably do what they've done with Alvarez. They'll find that young talent in another country and then bring him in for little to no money, and they'll create him like they did with Alvarez. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what they'll more likely do. Whether that's going to be in a January window or next summer, it'll happen like that. I think. But I think for me, with the likes of like Bruno, I just think if City want this player, you're going to have to spend the money because Newcastle now are in a strong position where they don't really have to sell, and they're going to want big money. And I don't see why City just say, let's put the money down and let's go for it. If that's the player they want, it's not like they haven't got the money because we haven't spent that much.
Oh, we've got about 400 million we could burn through. I mean, like I said, I do think there's this belief that, and I said this last night, we've got to stop doing this. We're signing players just for this season coming up.
Yeah.
Whoever City sign will be a 10-year, 8-year, 7-year player. I'm going to bring back
what I mentioned in the spaces last night. I think City are being very clever this season because if you look at next season, all in with wages and agent fees, we are probably going to be spending close to 400 million. If you think about it, to get somebody like a Musiala in, you're talking with agent fees and salary, you're talking 200 million all in. On top of that, we're also going to have to look for another centre-back to start phasing out John Stones. We're potentially also going to have to look for a Bernardo Silva replacement, potentially, as and then you've also got a Kyle Walker right back. So all in, we could potentially be spending 400 million all in next summer. So I think City are just playing it very, very clever. Maybe get one player in for the time being. See how this season goes, because next season is where you're going to see the money spent.
Can I just say, this is what Pep said, because Feathers, you keep telling me Pep said something else. Couple of quotes from last night. Pep Guardiola and Jack, what he's seen so far, I love it. He then talks about Phillips. It is possible he does centre half, essentially, but he likes to see all the game in front of him. Then he talks about Pep Guardiola not ruling out signing another striker. We will see until the end of the market if we really need a striker to be a backup. Erling is not going to play all the games with the schedule we have ahead of us, so you definitely have to think about it. So I don't know where those quotes you've got there, Feathers, fact checker, but Pep, the club are looking at making signings.
Fact checkers getting fact checked.
So he's not. He didn't say he's not going to buy someone sitting a bench. Yes, they're not going to go and buy a world superstar, but they are looking at buying someone.
Whenever do City, apart from the exception of Haaland, when do City buy superstars? We don't. We make them into superstars.
Facts.
Yeah, but the thing is, and listen, we don't know where anyone's going to be in 2 weeks. 2 weeks is a long time in football. We could have two players that get injured in training, like Grealish got injured. You know, tomorrow it could be John Stones. You know, got touch wood, nobody else.
It likely will be.
What I'm saying is, this is what people got to realise. They've got to suddenly. Some of them now gone. That's it. We're not signing anyone. They are still looking. They're always looking. What City are looking for is the right deal on their terms.
And the right player as well. We're not just going to go and spend, 80, 90 million on a player just because on paper they seem good. There's a lot of different hurdles that they have to go through. Number one,
I have an issue with Chibara. Not with him personally. I'm not going to say I don't know what's going to happen with that Chibara. Because his position is basically filled. So is he willing to come in and be patient, or are we just going down the Alvarez version 2 road with him? So I think we just need to wait, hold off, and see what happens. There's this belief that Echeverri's coming in going straight to the first team. Well, we don't know.
Won't happen.
We don't know really, because I think a lot of people thought that about Alvarez. I think even Martin, you were convinced he was going on loan.
I said he was going to do 2 years ago.
No, I agree. But what I would say on that is Pep is very, very precious about who he brings into the centre of the park. It's taken the best part of 5 years for Phil Foden to come into the centre of the park, because Pep said, no. He needs to learn a few things before he goes into the centre. So I think what I would say on that is, Echeverri looks like a very, very good player. Actually, very, very good. But what I would say on it is Pep's also very precious on who he brings into the middle, because they have to have certain attributes to their game to play in the middle.
I think my worry, though, Bevo, is that, when you look at our midfield and you look at those positions, Bernardo is a possibility that he goes next summer. Kevin De Bruyne possibly might go. And then you've got Foden, who's the only recognised, position that's going to go in that midfield. So you need to start planning. You know what I mean? That centre midfield is going to look like you've just got Roger and Foden in it. And where are the other players coming in?
I can tell you now from what I've heard that City have already approached Musiala's camp to start discussions. That's what I've heard. For that summer.
But anything can happen between now and then. Do you know what I mean? Look what happened with Bellingham. They were pretty certain that Bellingham was coming through the door, and then he signed for Madrid.
This is why City are not going public in the media at the moment, because they are literally like, they've learned from the Bellingham stuff.
Yeah. You look what we did with Haaland, right? We actually approached Haaland before he signed for Dortmund. We said, look, keep going at the rate you're going at, and we're going to end up signing you. Now, I said last night on the Spaces, that will be then instilled in that player, that when they make that move, they'll be like, oh, City are going to come in for me. And then when City do come in for them, they're like, oh, well, they kept to their word. But, you know, they'll have that instilled in them that, oh, City have already spoken to me and said that if I keep going the way I'm going, you know, and then that will then, when it comes to, say, the end of the window and the end of the season, and then the window opens, and then bids start flying in from Real Madrid and stuff like that, they'll be like, well, hang on a minute, you didn't approach me a couple of years ago, you know, City did, and now they're back in for me. You know, I want that move because they were keen on me back then, and they've watched my journey.
I just need to do this super chat. Sorry, Bebo, because Alan's
go for it.
But he's paid money wise. I'm putting it up. Martin does not like the kids in the team. Marin, the kids are good enough.
Who's Marin?
That's your opinion, Alan. You're giving your opinion, and that's perfectly fine. And we thank you for your amazing super chat, mate. Thank you so much. Sorry, go on, Bebo.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so like, you know, you can use Haaland as the example. When he was at Salzburg, we approached Haaland's camp. We spoke to Haaland and his agent at the time. We said, look, we're going to be keeping our eyes on you. He then went over to Dortmund, and then we came in and signed for him. We came in and signed him. We always make these moves 2-3 years earlier than they should. Rodri, when we signed Rodri was at the club for 3 years before he became the dedicated CDM. You know, he was learning off Fernandinho. He come in, you know, he had a couple of years where he was learning from Fernandinho, learning his trade, getting to know the style of play, comes in and bam. And I think, I was saying this on the Spaces last night, I just find that when it comes to signing players, I don't think we're going to have this massive transitional period that people seem to think that we're going to have, because a lot of these players potentially could even already be at the club, and if they're not already at the club, we will have already instilled some kind of memory into these players. Like this season, you know, from what I've heard going into Musiala's camp, you know, he'll be then thinking through this season, oh, well, you know, if I keep up the way I'm going, City are going to come in for me next year. And then that's going to sentimentally mean more to him than if, say, like Real Madrid, you know, etc., start coming in. So I'll be like, well, hang on a minute. They were interested in me last year. So yeah, I'm gonna hold my loyalties to them because they came in for me before you did.
Can I ask who's banning comments? Who's banning comments? No, let rivals come in, let them have a bit of banter. It's when they get personal or silly, ban them. But I'll put them in a timeout. But if they're just having, you know, United fan coming in, let them run with it, because you can give them a bit of banter back.
If you're going to ban anybody, ban the bloke that said I needed new glasses before.
No, make sure, you know, let the United fans in, because then we can banter him. I could put his comments up and banter him that his team's lost.
Yeah, boo-hoo.
Come on.
I think that transition period, I'm not so worried when it comes to kind of new players coming in. The biggest transition, I think, is going to be when Pep leaves.
Do you know what's really sad? Just on this United fan, he's got Tevez, Rooney, and Ronaldo as his 3 United players.
But going back to your point, Ozzy, we won the league before Pep. We got to the Champions League semi-final before Pep. We'll be there to do it after he's left. You know,
yeah,
we've built this absolute dynasty now, where, you know, I think Pep said it last year, or it was the year before when we won the treble. He said, okay, if you don't want to play, the academy's ready. You know, we're producing players from the academy, which we're then going on to sell for 45 million quid. Look at Cole Palmer. You know, we've got this sort of conveyor belt of just bringing talent after talent after talent and then selling them, putting some kind of sell-on clause in that, and then getting more money for them when they go again. We're ready for, in my opinion, obviously, touch wood, I hope he never does leave. Obviously, there's going to come a time when he does. Oi, Steve. Yeah, I hope there comes a time where when he doesn't leave, I hope he stays for another 10 years. It's not going to happen. But I think that we're in a position now where we are ready for when that does eventually happen.
Yeah. I think we're in a position better than any other club on the planet. That no other club on the planet is better run than the City. Do you know what I mean? On and off on the field, we are such a well-run club. That we've basically got a dynasty of other clubs that are in the CFG. So
did you see on the Brad place today? The little gremlin stood there, sat there. Come on.
Who?
You're right.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
little gremlin.
There's
Sit down your pipe and smoke it, you little Judas. Get over there. Go and sort your roof out, you little Judas.
There's a picture going round of him looking really, really sad, sat on his own, and I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
You can take Berardo, you can take Wilcox, but you'll never take our trophies. Anyway,
and then someone sticks up 115.
I mean,
yeah, no. but yeah, I think we're not when Pep leaves, the success won't completely go away. It's just we're never. I say never. It's unlikely we're going to have this level of success.
No, you'll never get this level, X. You'll never ever get it. Listen, bloody no one. This is what I've always said: is be careful what you wish for, because you know why you'll never get this level of success? Because what you're watching is record history making records being broken. No team has ever won 4 in a row. We're going for a record 5th. We just had a record 5th, 4th. They're putting banners up in the dressing room again. No one's ever done it 5 times. We want the FA Cup. We want the Champions League. We want it all.
The thing is, as well,
Guardiola's disappearing in 6 months to go bye.
The thing is, as well, right? Pep Guardiola has done in management under half of the amount of time as Fergie, right? He's only 10 trophies behind.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 29 trophies in 14 years. But then people will say, oh, but he didn't do it with Hibernian. Who cares? He didn't do it with Hibernian because he's an absolute god, and goes to Barcelona and gets, what did he get there? 2 trebles? 2 trebles at Barcelona?
He got them 1, and then
1, I think. Yeah.
And then
I thought this was his 3rd treble. I thought he was 2 at Barcelona and then 1 at City.
Hey,
it could be wrong.
No one forgets. Sorry, go on, Bayer.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, 2 troubles. 1 at Barca and then delivered 1 for us.
Yeah. I thought, yeah.
The thing I want to also point out is we're doing so much ahead of time. We're doing so many things, like Ozzy said a little earlier. We're so well planned in terms of future players development. When we have youngsters coming in and many are excited to see them play, sometimes it's like the club just thinking we will need them at some point, but actually maybe we're so far ahead of schedule that we can't currently use them, right? So there is the potential exits of a KDB and Bernardo, and when that does happen, everything does seem to kind of just land in place. But when this year, maybe we have a little bit of congestion with how well they've planned. But players go on loan, players become available with added experience. It's just a matter of us being, like Martin likes to joke around, us just being calm with whatever the outcome may be. Because this record-setting run that we're on, it can't be forever.
But I mean, what's an Arsenal going to say to you this season? We've won the league. Great. We've won it the last 4 years. Enjoy it. We've won an FA Cup. Great. We've been in the last 2 finals. There is nothing any other rival can throw at us other than 115. That's it. And do you know what? In 6 months' time, they won't be able to throw that at us anymore. So they're just going to be very upset. They're going to be very.
Oh, no,
be very
no, Martin. These have all made their decisions. We are guilty.
We're
100%
guilty. What Jeremy in his bedroom at 12 is telling me on Twitter. I don't care what he's telling me. He knows now.
Well, you know, we are guilty. You know, we'll hold our hands up. We are guilty. But we're thinking, we'll pay them off. It's fine.
No, let the likes of Alan worry about. Let Alan worry about the trolls on Twitter telling him we're guilty, and he's believing it. Let Alan believe that. It's madness. Listen, I don't sit up crying, rocking in the corner because 1-1-5. You know what I do? I sit in my bedroom, jump up and down, going, champions again, ole, ole. City win 4 in a row. Treble, here we come.
The other thing is,
that's what I worry about. Signing deals with Sony, ringing the bell at the New York Stock Exchange in front of the world. Anyone who knows, conquering America, opening stores in Times Square and wherever else we did, signing deals with WWE, signing all these stuff, and you all think we're off out of business.
If we are found guilty, a lot of these rival fans seem to think that we care. I couldn't give a crap that we went to League One. It wouldn't bother me. I'd still be going.
I've been there before, mate, and I'll go there again. I know these two down at the bottom, you know, weren't City fans back then. They were Chelsea fans. I understand that, but
Martin,
knows why I said that because
Martin, we'll go MK Dons away, mate. It's not a problem.
Listen,
I think Royal fans are going to have a bit of a shock.
Go on, say again. I'm sorry, man.
I think rival fans are in for a bit of a shock because I don't think we're being relegated. I think the most that will happen is a fine. I really do.
The other thing to take away from it as well is politics comes into it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Judge. Right, Judge, tell us why you think, because you had to go at me yesterday saying I talk nonsense. You're now saying Bebo's talking nonsense. So you hit me with your wisdom, the Judge. Hit me with your wisdom, mate.
I'm doing a call-in show next week as well. He's more than welcome to come in and tell me why I'm talking nonsense.
Listen, I've always said this is your channel. As people, we want to know why. Tell us where we're wrong. Because we don't do right and wrong in here, mate. It's an opinion.
That.
Who is Kieran Bracken? Kieran Bracken, you mean? Player.
He's a goalkeeper, isn't he?
Goalkeeper. Of course, City cares. No, talking about the fan base, to judge. Talking about the fan base. Some of the fans wouldn't care if we got moved.
I wouldn't care if we got relegated. It really wouldn't bother me. I'd still be there. I'd still buy the shirts.
What, we go down to the Championship, win the Championship, come up, win the league.
End of the day, it's City till I die. It's not City till I get relegated. It's City till I die.
You know the scary thing is, even if we got expelled down to League One, we'd still win the Premier League before United would.
Yeah.
We'd probably win the league before Chelsea. This is what I mean. People got to realise, do you want to do a Chelsea and go and spend 500 billion?
And what have they won, Martin?
To what?
Hang on. Chelsea have spent $1 billion and won what have they won? Man United have spent more than us in the transfer market. What have they won?
Not all.
Okay, they've won the FA Cup and the charity, not the Community Shield, the Carabao Cup in the last 5 years. Whoop.
The Judge, just on your point, yeah, you would still be there, but you would care. City have exceeded every single expectation that I could have ever have dreamt of. Growing up, I would have taken an FA Cup. I would have. Growing up, I would have taken an FA Cup. I'd have taken a Community Shield. I really, really would. They've exceeded everything that I could have ever have dreamt of as being a City fan. That's all I can say on it. Would I care if we lost the league this year? No, because I've seen us win the treble. I've seen us do 4 in a row. I've seen us win the Champions League. I've seen us win the Centurions. I've seen us do a domestic quad. I've seen everything, and I am more than happy. If we were to go down to League 2 now, I would be more than happy with what I've seen. That's all. I'll leave it at that, but that's all I'll say.
Sorry, I do need to say this. Fine. Stop cutting them off from what's your disability. What's it got to do? What's it got to do with you? What my disability is? So thank you for your money, but what's it got to do with what my disability is, and why are you asking about my disability? And we don't cut people off, mate, because I ain't a guest, mate. You think set this damn channel up, sunshine? So come on, not do this. You think me, this? I can't believe you're asking me what my disability is. But I'll tell you, I don't mind. You want to know? I've got spinal stenosis. Look it up.
That question's out of order.
Louis really poured him out. Big up the panel, big up Martin for the show. Yes, I'm 25. Never thought I'd see my team win an FA Cup. Listen, I was happy to bloody. Ozzy knows this because I've talked about this in the WhatsApp chat so many times. I was happy just to go to Wembley in '99. Never mind.
And how many times you been to Wembley now, Martin?
Yeah, now he's bored of it.
That last night. So why I didn't go today.
More than Chelsea fans been there.
Any fan that claims he or she does not care the club gets total nonsense, so he's not a true fan.
Looks like I'm not a true fan, Martin. Sorry.
No, listen, you're not understanding the point, Judge. From a club's point of view, of course they would care if they get expelled. We need to get this relegation. So you get found guilty, there is no relegation, it's expulsion. The thing is, the club would care 100%. A lot of the fan base here wouldn't care. They'd take a year or two down. They're not going to leave because the thing is, someone like me, I've had a season ticket nearly, over 35 years. I didn't start supporting City for the trophies, mate.
I would care.
Many people haven't.
I would care that the club has lied to us. I wouldn't care about what league we were in.
That's where I get annoyed.
Yeah, I think we'd all agree with that, to be honest. Because the club, all they've done since this started was say, we're innocent, we've got the proof, and when our day comes in court, we'll prove it. They've said this to Pep, and Pep has believed it. Do you know what I mean? Pep has said, I wouldn't be here if the club has lied to me. You know what I mean? So I think there's going to be a lot of us fans who are going to be like Pep and go, you know what? You've lied to us. We're done. And you couldn't blame them. Do you know what I mean? Because if your club does that to the fan base, I can understand people walking away as much as people love the club. So I believe in my club. I believe in them when they say they're innocent and they've got the proof and they're going to prove it, because that's what true fans do.
W's in the chat for Aussie.
Spot.
Thanks, mate.
LV's in the chat for Ozzy. Las Vegas, baby. We won absolutely every single thing. As a young fan, if we went down to League One, I wouldn't give 2 Fs. And I would storm down Barnet or effing Rex. See, this is the thing. People need to realise, and Vater's even said this. Me and Vater have had private conversations, and I'm not going to. But
don't expose the private.
Vater has even said to me, he's noticed City fans are built different. We are built very different. We will back our club to the hill until we find a reason not to do. So, like they've just said, if we're found guilty, then yes, we're going to be. Can you explain why we backed you for 2 years and this? We backed you to the hill and everything else. And the thing is, Caldoon even mentioned it in his end of season interview. If you remember, he said it's hard on our. Do you think the club don't know that the fans are having to deal with all this?
Yeah,
and they're not having to fight the battle. Of course they do, and they feel for us. don't feel for us too much that they're charging us for disability parking and raising season ticket prices every season. But hey, that's a different matter. But
That's a
we're
whole different
built
stream.
different. We're not a lot. City fans love, because a lot of us have been through the crap. We appreciate the good times, and we know we're not going to win every single year.
Yeah.
We'll try and win every single year, but if we don't, there's no meltdowns. There's no. It's why people, tell me that I'm Mr. Main Road and I work for the football club because I'm so pro. Honestly, people think I work for the football club. I don't. I just trust my club. I really don't work for the club, Vader. I really don't. People believe this.
He's trying to get his foot in the door.
I don't work for him. Big Steve works for him. I don't. Natalie Pike works for him. I don't. That's what it is. We're living the dream. We're living the dream. And I think
right now,
part of it, sorry, George, I forgot. Do you know what? I'm going to shut up. Do you know what I think part of it is? I think it's because we were in United's shadow for so long. I think we just learned to deal with adversity.
The other thing as well, right?
I don't know.
This is a bit of a mad thing, right? But my son's starting school in September. He's never seen City not win the league.
My son's the same. I tell him all the time. I put a video on the other day. We were playing, 20 questions, and we were doing it on football players. And I did Georgia Kinkladze, Uwe Rosler, and I did Kit Simons, and he went, Dad, who are them? Didn't even know who Kinkladze was. And Kinkladze was my favourite ever player.
Same.
Never knowing Manchester City to not win the league is wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
And the thing is,
that's how scary it is.
The thing is, by the time, say we don't win the league this season, he'll be into his second year of school.
Yeah.
He'll be going into his second year of school. And this is before he was born. Like, every year City win the league, he gets a nice little gold Premier League badge on his shirt. I've got them all. Every year he's got this nice little gold badge. What more can you ask for? What more can you ask for? He's not had to deal with what a lot of us City fans growing up have had to deal with.
Yeah.
With he's been able to grow up in with we're ruining United fans' childhoods now.
Yeah.
United were doing that to us when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Savor it, because it won't last. Just savor it.
We're going to end in 5 more minutes. We're going to end. Skulls there. We deserve the win. Played better. It's a charity shield. Don't worry about it. It's not that deep. This is why we're not sitting here jumping up and down, jumping off the rooftops. It's a dinner plate. It's a pre-season friendly. I'm not going to jump that much about it. It's nice we've won. It's nice for beating United, but I'd have swapped 3 points at Chelsea next week for it. Let's put it that way. All right, closing thoughts, Vader. We'll go with you.
Well, I'm probably going to. I'm not going to panic. I'll say that. Let me just say that I'm not going to panic. However, we've just now made this title defense that much harder because there is a Community Shield curse that we are going to have to overcome again. But I'm confident that we will do it. It was absolutely great to watch the game. Curtain raiser, loved it, and yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud of how they played, and it wasn't even the full team. So we'll go on and do what we have to do with the remainder of the season. And I'm looking forward to catching you guys more often this upcoming year, as well as inviting you guys over as well when I become more consistent.
Get over to Better Games TV. Honestly, let's get into 1,000. There's 200 of you on here. Let's get him over to 1,000. Does some great shows. I'm on there on the regular. He does some really, really good shows. So go and support him.
Appreciate it.
I need to come on, Vader.
Bevo,
Yes, mate.
Final thoughts from you, mate?
Yeah, I'd just say trust the process. Whatever the club believes in, go with it. You know, they've done us well over the last 10 years. You know, whatever they believe is the right decision, back them, support them. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. You know, we're not going to win trebles every year. We're not. But back the club, back what they believe in, because they've done us well over the last 10 years or so. Just I can't fault them. You know, just support them, win or lose, rain or sunshine, just be there and show the love to the club.
Ozzy? Oh, yeah, by the way, Bevo TV, he's on 99 subs. Let's get him to 100. Brand new channel. I'm on there next week, apparently. So get over there.
Got some really exciting stuff coming up as well. Going to be starting as of next year. As of next week, we're going to be starting a new FPL show. Going to be running a little bit of a competition. Obviously, with having 99 subs, you know, it's still a fairly new channel. It's not monetized at the moment, so this is coming directly out of my own pocket. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting up an FPL league for my subscribers. And whoever wins the league at the end of the season will have a shirt of their choice.
Nice.
That's going to come directly out of my own pocket. You have to be subscribed to the channel. If you win the league and you're not, it'll go to the next position who is. But yeah, really, really exciting stuff coming up. Got some great blues coming on. And the FPL show, it's going to be a weekly thing. There's also potentially at the moment, it's still a little bit early days, but could potentially have an FPL specialist being a part of that show on a weekly basis. So fingers crossed, keep an eye out, and yeah, there'll be more to come next week.
Scalzi, stop skipping my comments, mate. We deserve the win. Didn't skip your comments. So
Can't please everybody.
I don't care. You deserve the win.
Yeah, you deserve to win. You deserve to win. That's absolutely fine.
You deserve to win, but you lost.
But you didn't. So that's football.
It's a pre-season friendly, Scalzi. Not that deep, mate. So cool if you've asked for, bring Ozzy in. Foden, Stones, etc. All due back tomorrow. Sorry, Monday, tomorrow-ish. They'll go through all the blood tests and weight and all that stuff, and do some training pre-season. And I imagine they'll probably do some behind closed doors game for Foden and all that, and Walker to get up to some form of match fitness. Ready for what's it?
Chelsea.
Yeah. Love your attitude. Love your happy-go-lucky attitude, Martin, says my son. Listen, that's me. Thank you for your £2, mate. Very generous. Really do appreciate that. Eureka of stenosis, mate. We just landed into the dickhead mode tonight. Well, what's happened? I don't. And about yesterday, Matt, did everyone think you were drunk, including? No, I was very tired yesterday on LB's show, but I stand by what I said. I do think we need one or two signings.
Just to say as well, big up to Martin as well. He landed yesterday, and the first thing that he does is comes and joins a stream. His jet lag must have been insane, you know. So W's in the chat for Martin, because you know he's come back, and the first thing that he does is he jumps on the stream. That's good going, that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm on my 5th stream since I landed.
That's what I mean, mate. You don't
Crazy.
stop. You don't stop. Fair play to you.
I'm going to tell people, Matt, as well, that there is potential by the end of this year, and Ozzy knows this, that this channel may go full time.
Nice.
We'll go what? Sorry.
Full time. I'm building it. Obviously, everyone knows the thing. which, by the way, before I bring thing in, I've totally forgot it. And no one's frigging reminded me. My apologies. But we are now sponsored by Football Prizes. Get over. You have until the 13th of August, 7:30. Weekly competitions. Get in with a chance to win a Sergio Aguero signed custom LED frame Manchester City shirt with a built-in TV, including all Aguero's best highlights. Their tickets are £3.95. You go on footballprizes.com, get over there, click on the Manchester City link, and you will be signed to it. It also does include 15 instant win prizes, including a Jeremy Doku signed shirt and an official 24-25 home shirt. And the bespoke frame also does include a made poster backdrop and built-in LED lights, as well as that lovely built-in TV showing his best highlights. Football Prizes, get over there. The official brand new sponsor this season for the Mancunian way. And don't forget, look what we've put in this year. We've got a little bit of Costa coffee there, just to throw it in. So that Costa coffee is always in the corner.
Not quite there yet, Martin, but give it time. Give it time.
But yeah, Ozzy, thank you so much for jumping in from Las Vegas. I know you are on holiday at the moment, and I really do appreciate that. More dedication than Rich. People have asked. Rich will be back. He's been on holiday. Alan is taking some time out to be with family, and Pat is. I don't know where Pat is anymore because Pat's across the bloody globe. I don't know if he's in America, Belgium, Europe, Asia. I don't know where Pat is at the moment. He's just disappeared. But yeah, no, big thank you to you and your family, mate, for being allowed to come on. For allowed to come on your own channel.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, no, it's been good to come
on the channel.
Apparently. No, but it's good to come on, catch up with all you guys. I miss the channel as much as some of you guys who are just in the chat. Do you know what I mean? So I love coming on and putting my 2 cents. I just want to say, Bevo, great having you on, mate, and I look forward to seeing what comes from the channel. I really do.
Thank you.
And hopefully get myself on there. I need to try and get a bit more on this season.
You're more than welcome, mate, anytime.
Thanks. The same goes to Vader as well. Need to come on yours, mate. Seriously. These are 2 top guys we have come on, and it's so appreciated that we've got some really good friends out there who support our channel.
Luke, don't forget Luke.
Oh yeah, Luke as well. Sorry. It's we keep trying to add to our little own family. And it's great to have you guys.
We've got a great little circle of blues going, and I'm very, very fortunate to be a part of it. And thank you everyone as well that's given me the support, and Martin behind the scenes. I know you've helped me out quite a lot. Luke as well, and LB, various others as well, and same goes to you as well, Ozzy. Thanks for everything and all your support. It does really help.
Yeah, I'd just like to pay special tribute to Martin because he does put a lot of work into this channel. He has a lot of, off the camera issues that he's dealing with every day, and he puts so much into this channel. It's unbelievable. Me and the other guys are so proud of what he does because all of us have got full-time jobs and we put as much as we can in, but Martin goes the extra mile. He really does. So a big thanks to Martin. This channel wouldn't be this channel without Martin. So thanks, mate. And my kind of going forward with the rest of the season, I'm looking forward to it. As Martin said, I think towards the end of last season, this season feels a bit of a free hit. There's not a massive amount of expectations on my head. I'm just looking forward to it. I really am. I'm looking forward to the new players that we're going to bring in or brought in. I'm looking forward to Pep extending, fingers crossed. And I'm just looking forward to more Manchester City football. Do you know what I mean? It's been missed. And you guys out there, thank you so much for your support for the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, one thing I want to say is, because I don't do this, is your channel. Said this, I'm generally just the face of it and everyone else, but it's your channel. It's why we do things. And there won't be a show on here tomorrow, but maybe on another show tomorrow. So keep an eye out. I will be on Luke's
Rest for the
next
wicked.
week. There is going to be Tony's coming on I think every 2 weeks or a monthly show. There is going to be me and Tony will do a show together that will start this season. I'd said there's going to be different panels because I know Ozzy, Rich, and Pat do work a lot, and that's good. I'm going to have time off because they're getting their own show, which is, like I said, because so I can have a day or two off. But
you deserve it, mate.
The goal is to eventually take this full time. I would love to go back to my job. I hope I can one day. But the way things are with my parents at the moment, it's not looking likely. I've got to discuss things with work. I love my job. I love teaching. I want to do it. But my parents need me right now. And this allows me more flexibility to do that than being in a 9 till 4 job, 9 till 5, which I love. And I really do want to go back to it. But
hey, Martin, you might be a teacher, mate, but you're schooling people on a daily basis.
No, it's not that. It's just it's I've got to do 9 hours. Like now, I'll go and do my caring job for 9 hours, and then I got back in at 6 a.m. this morning. So yeah, because everyone don't know, my father has Alzheimer's, my mother has Alzheimer's. So yeah, it's doing it, and I can't do anything without these guys and the family, LB, everyone, and then 9320 Pubcast, Beta, everyone who's been Big Steve. I'm going to go on there soon. We're going to get that main road days will start back in about 2 weeks. I will be getting that back up and running. I'm trying to get some guests on for that. So yeah, thank you, Buxton. Best of all, so thank you, mate. I know it's not a competition for me, but it's nice to hear them comments. I have got before we leave, because I'm queuing everyone here now. We did end the poll earlier, and we asked you which intro was better, the first one or the second one. The second one won. So the one we did today won. So there you go. So the one won today that we started with today. So we'll go away and we'll tweak it a little bit, but that's what we'll run with now. So there you go. DC, is Martin your lad? No, I'm not. I'm no legends. You lot are the legends. You know that. But thank you all for coming on. We'll see you on the next one. Smash those likes. You're a wonderful son. Behave. But honestly, take care all. You are amazing. Let's just enjoy the season. But it's always nice to get one over the rivals. And we've beaten them. And we've won a plate. Now we're going and win the 5p. Take care all.